Well, it's time to bring it on with your email questions. And Pat, this first one comes from Amanda, who says, recently it's come to my attention that one of the pastors in my church believes that it is a sin and disobedient to God to let his children say the Pledge of Allegiance. He uses Matthew 5:33 through 37 to back up his belief, saying this verse talks about not swearing oaths. He believes the pledge is an oath which we should not participate in as Christians. I'd like to know what you think about this.
Well, how does the Pledge of Allegiance go? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with life and liberty for all. Period. Yeah. That's not an oath. I pledge, I will have allegiance to the United States, to the flag and what it stands for. That is not an oath. It is a pledge. You're
stating your patriotism for the country you live in.
That basically says, I'm going to live in this country, and this is what I'm going to do. And, you know, people get so hung up on legalism, and here's what Jesus said. Again, you've heard that it was said, do not break your oath. But I tell you, don't swear an oath at all, either by heaven or by God's throne. And do not swear by your head, for you can't even make your hair whiter. And all you need to say is yes or no. Well, that is, you say, by God, I will not do this. You know, I swear that I will maintain this contract, so help me God. You know, I swear by the hair of my head. That's what Jesus said. You say, look, I'm getting a deal. I'm going to keep my word on it. That's all you need to say. Mm-hmm. Pledge of allegiance, totally different thing.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
This is Essa, who says, I'm 16 years old. I've always had an unnaturally horrifying fear of being tortured and or killed for my faith. Is God trying to tell me something? Will God someday test me in this way because he knows it's my weak point? Sometimes I can't sleep at night because I'm so scared. What scares me even more is that I'm not sure if I would stand strong in the face of pain or death. What should I do?
What you should do is realize that perfect love casts out fear, for fear has torment. You need to be set free from that stuff. You need to be delivered. You have a spirit of fear that came from Satan. This isn't from God. God does not give us fear, for fear has torment. You know, a perfect love casts out fear. You need to fill yourself with the love of God and don't worry about this stuff. I remember Corrie ten Boom. It was a wonderful thing that her father said to her, now, Corrie, you know, when you're going to take a trip, she said, yes, well, you don't need a ticket until you get ready to leave. And at that point, you get your ticket and you give it to the conductor. Mm-hmm. God will give you what you need when the time comes, and don't worry about it prior to that. All right?
It's interesting that people think that God does things like create some scenario in our lives because he knows it's our weakest fear. I mean, that doesn't say very much about knowing his loving nature, does it?
It does say about Satan. Satan will hit us where we're weakest, and that's what we can't have. Perfect love casts out fear. What else? This
is a viewer who says, do I have to fast for God to answer my prayers?
No. King James says, this goeth out by prayer and fasting, but the and fasting was added to the later documents. The more ancient documents, the more authentic documents say this goeth out by prayer, not and fasting. And fasting is in the King James, but it wasn't in the better Greek text. Manuscript.
Yeah. Huh.
All right.
Okay, this is Andrea, who says, my husband and I got married in our home church by our pastor. Our pastor gave my husband the marriage license instead of sending it to the court. Recently, my husband told me that he lost the license and never sent it. Does this mean we aren't married?
Nonsense. You're married. You have, you just didn't get it recorded in the courthouse, but you had the ceremony and you had a license, and you could go and say, I was married. Well, I don't know what you have to prove, and whether you're looking for Social Security benefits or the right of a spouse or something, if you have a lawsuit, but Yes, you're married. All right.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today, but thank you for your questions. We love hearing from you.